Hello Year 6, welcome to Day 2 reading lesson. Today I would like you to summarise the story so far in 2 sentences. Talk to your adult. How many marks would you award this answer and why? How could it be improved? The question says, look at the paragraph beginning, suddenly as I stepped. How does the writer make the flowers seem dangerous? Give 2 ways. Number 1, they were coughing all over him. Number 2, they were dangerous because they made him faint. Have a look at the mark scheme and see if you think you would award him either 1, 2, or no marks. Okay, so when we are looking at vocab questions and if we come across an unfamiliar word, we need to remember our key steps. So to break down the word, to take off any prefixes or suffixes, to break the word into its smallest unity. And then we need to read around the word. So, my turn. A breeze shook a half-naked tree, causing a handful of leaves to cascade into the garden. So, it says causing a handful of leaves to cascade. So, it's telling me that it is a verb because it's something that they're doing. The leaves are cascading, so it could be some kind of movement. And it says a breeze shook the tree. So I'm thinking if the wind shook a tree, there might be quite a lot of leaves that fall down. So I think cascade means to fall down and maybe quite a lot of leaves falling down. Your turn. Read the sentence and then see if you can work out what the meaning is. You can check your answer on the next slide. Okay, Year 6, so today we're going to be looking at questions which says, explain what this suggests. Okay, and you can see that there are 2 mark questions, so we might either need 2 points or we need 1 point and 1 piece of evidence which supports our answer. So, my turn. I want you to listen carefully and think about what tips you can gauge from how I'm answering the question. The jersey had a polo neck collar in red. The cuffs and the waistband were ribbed in the same colour. Willie thought that next to Zach's deep complexion and black hair, the red looked pleasing. I think it's fine, he said quietly. And Zach knew he was speaking truthfully. There were socks in the case, a scarf, cape, and coloured tights, scraps of material, and a pair of old black ankle boots with a label hanging on them. It read, found these in the theatre wardrobe. No use to them. Too small. Had them resold. Hope they fit you. If too big, you can always stuff the toes. Love, Mummy. He closed the case and passed the cake around. My question says, explain what this suggests about Zach's family in London. So I think that Zach's family in London are quite loving people and that they care for him. I think this because his mum has sent him some gifts which she has found for him. She's also been really thoughtful because she's had the shoes resoled, which means to put on a new bottom, the sole of a shoe. She also says that she hopes that they fit, so she's quite conscious that her present is going to be a lovely one. And also it says, love, Mummy. So these pieces of evidence lead me to believe that Zach's family in London are really loving and kind. So my point is that Zach's family in London are really loving and kind. I know this because his mum has bought him some presents. She also was really thoughtful by having the shoes resold, and she says, hope they fit you. She really wants Zach to like the present. She signs off saying, love, Mum. Okay, now it's your turn. I'd like you to read the short paragraph and then solve the question. The question says, explain what this suggests about Tom and Willie's relationship. And again, you can see it's a 2 mark question, which means you need 1 point and then some evidence to support your answer. Once you're finished, talk to your adult. Find a phrase in the text which means untidy. Now remember, when it says a phrase, you know that it's going to be more than 1 word. Good luck. Okay, so now it is my turn, your turn. I'm sure you all know how to do this by now, but I am going to read the blue section. Once you get to the end, I'd like you to pause it and then I'd like you to read the rest in your head. When you get to the end of the text, play it again and we'll have a go at solving the question together. Mrs. Fletcher was bending over the last bed of weeds, hoping to finally rid herself of them before her husband returned from the potato harvesting. Her thoughts were interrupted by the sound of heavy footsteps and loud barking. She looked up vacantly. It was Tom Oakley. Easing herself gently to her feet, she leaned slowly backwards. Her spine gave a soft cracking sound. "Back early, ain't you?" she remarked. "Yous ain't finished, has you?" "I ain't started on tea for Ben yet." "He's staying on," said Tom. "I decided I'd come home early tonight. Boy's got friends coming round. You're George for one." So he said. Okay, year 6, so now we're going to have a go at solving the question. The question says, "I just thought I'd be around like, in case he needs anything. Tends to get overexcited." And you can find this quote on page 152. Explain what this suggests about Willie's character. I would like you to have a think about what that means. So it says that Tom wants to be around in case he needs anything. And it also says that he tends to get overexcited. Talk to your adult. How would you solve this question? What evidence would you give from the text? Okay, now it's your independent reading time. I'd like you to read from page 153 to 165. It is now time for your selfie. Please complete all 3 questions and the challenge question. They're all 2-mark questions today, so it's looking for 1 point and 1 piece of evidence. Remember, evidence is a quote from the text which supports your answer. You might want to use point, evidence, and explain. So explain how the quote that you've used is linked to your point and how it supports it. You can either do this on a piece of paper and take a photo and upload it, or you can use the notepad tool. Good luck! So year 6, for today's plenary, I would like you to use your predicting stem. With the whole text in front of you, what do you think is going to happen next and why? How does the chapter that you have just read make you think that?